So, for anybody who might not be familiar with you, can you introduce yourself to the camera?
What's good, yo? It's your boy Fill My Cup from Everett, Massachusetts. Producer, artist, songwriter. You feel me? Yeah.
Cool. I was just gonna ask you where you were from. You said you're from Everett, Massachusetts.
Yes, sir.
How was it growing up for you there?
In Everett, I mean, over here, you get to basically pick your lifestyle. You feel me? Because like, if you want to be an athlete, you're going to chill with a lot of athletes. If you want to be on that street shit, you could be on that street shit. But it's literally what you make it. You feel me? I know a lot of people that's has a horrible life. I know a lot of people that have a good life. So like, Everett's a little bit of everything. But it was pretty smooth, you feel me? I'm still cool with a lot of people from like elementary school and whatnot. It's mad small, so everybody knows everybody. You feel me?
Yeah. And you said like you could either be in the streets or you could be an athlete. Did you ever like play sports growing up?
Oh yeah, I played football probably like since I was like 11 years old. Then I played for Everett High. I did a little bit of college, and then I stopped playing in college because I wanted to do music. And basically, just here I am now.
Cool. And what inspired you to make music?
So basically, like, I grew up in the church and whatnot. You feel me? I was a badass kid growing up, so like I was always forced to sit in the front. And in the front, there's a lot of musicians, so like every time, like there'll probably like a bass player missing, I'll just hop on, even though I didn't know how to play at the time. But that's eventually how I learned. And then like keyboard, same thing, drums, and then singing. It all just, you feel me? It was all natural. I was probably doing that shit since I was like 4 or 5.
Yeah. And I grew up in the church too, so I understand what you're talking about.
Melodies,
every Sunday.
Exactly.
You know?
Had to.
So, and I was actually going to ask you about you playing instruments, because I noticed in one of your videos, it was the MT, the 4MT.
Yeah.
You was on the piano.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. Like, how long have you been playing the piano?
Honestly, I've been playing, probably since I was like 9, 10 years old. I play by ear. Like, I'm not one of those that could just like read music and be like, oh no, this is this scale, like this note. Like, if I hear it, I could just play it. You feel me? That's basically what church did for me. You feel me?
Yeah. and if you could pick one, whether it's singing, playing instruments, which one would you pick? Writing, which one would you pick?
Whew. Like for good, like if I had to just pick one.
Yeah.
Damn. Whew. I'd probably just pick singing. You feel me?
Okay.
You feel me? Performing, like I love performing and whatnot.
And what about performing? Is it that you love about it? Is it the energy?
Yeah, it's the energy. Like, cause I already know, like when I perform, like I give a lot of energy out, and people usually send it right back. You feel me? That's what it's like. It's like the adrenaline is wild. It's like being on a roller coaster type shit. You feel me? All eyes on you, and especially like if they know your words and whatnot in the song, it's like it's a crazy feeling.
And from just like checking out your videos, I noticed you got videos 25K, 20K. How was that like newfound fame for you? Like
that shit was different. You feel me? Because I was a football star. You feel me? I didn't start like dropping music until like after high school and whatnot. Because I thought I was going to the league. So like when I dropped music, no one seen that coming. You feel me? Only like my real close friends, like probably like 4 or 5 niggas knew like I was always like writing or whatever. But I didn't take it serious. So like I dropped my first song like 2016. It's called Missy. And then that song ended up, like I won like a competition. I ended up opening that Summer Jam 2017 just off my first song. So it was like, it was some shit. Like I wasn't prepared for this. You know how usually like some artists like they just start off bad and then they end up getting better and better. Yeah. I literally just got lucky with just one song. It was just like, shit, just took over.
and with that type of takeoff, how do you remain consistent with making music? Like,
honestly, I just try to, obviously I still do it every day, you feel me, but I'm not at the level now that like everything I would drop has to be like on point, you feel me, because this is the time, you feel me, you never know.
Yeah,
obviously when I first started off, like I was rough, like I didn't really care about quality and all that, because my first song recorded like on GarageBand with Apple headphone music, like what Apple headphones, like it wasn't even mixed and mastered or nothing, so now like I try to make sure everything's on point, you feel me.
Alright, so I noticed that your videos, great quality, music, great quality. and I notice in your videos usually like it's a real upbeat type vibe.
Yeah.
So is that fill my cup every day? Just
that's like
high energy or
high energy, bro. It's either like it's either really depressing or it's like really upbeat. Cause obviously I'm Haitian, I'm Caribbean, and like obviously in the church I grew up listening to like compa. So like, but once I got older, like I got into the dancehall vibe because I was partying and shit. So like I kind of fused the compa and the dancehall together. You feel me, with a little bit of R&B, whatnot, and just that's just how it is now. You feel me?
Okay.
Yeah, man.
And with that, I noticed you also make a lot of music for the ladies. You know, so
Big ladies, man. You feel me?
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, the females are the most loyal fans. You know, niggas they just come and go.
yeah,
And at the end of the day, like at a concert, you want to perform to a bunch of niggas or a bunch of bitches.
that's a
You
fact.
feel me? Like,
For real.
really, you feel me?
So is Fill My Cup a single guy, or is there a special lady?
No, I'm definitely single.
Okay, cool.
For me, I mean, I'm not afraid of commitment. You feel me? But like, right now, I'm just tunnel vision. Like, if you can't help me, like, elevate, then I'm all set. You feel me? Pussy, that shit comes and go. I don't care about that. You feel me?
Facts. And speaking of elevate, as far as like, if a label came to you and wanted to give you a situation, would you be open to it, or would you rather stay independent?
It depends what they offering, you feel me? But I'll definitely be open to it because it's gonna open more doors for me. But you feel me? With all the information that's on YouTube right now, I'm not gonna just sign my life away or some dumb shit.
Yeah.
Like I definitely want a distribution deal. You feel me? Like I want to own all my rights, especially if I make my beats and whatnot. Like I gotta own a lot of the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also like they're giving like a couple artists don't even get artist deals. They're getting like label deals.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
for them to have their own artists as well. So that's something that
Yeah, I would definitely want to sign artists. You feel me? In the future, just because I studied the industry, I know how this shit works. So I won't. I'm not. Honestly, you're always gonna get screwed, but I'm gonna try my best not to screw.
Yeah.
You feel me, artists? Because I don't want to get screwed at the end of the day either. As long as everybody eats, it'll be fun. You know.
Also, speaking of artists, I noticed that you don't have too many features. I seen that you had a feature with Tyler Loyal, and there was one other person I think you had a feature with. So is there a reason for that? Does Fill My Cup not to like to work with other artists, or
Honestly, I have a lot of like I'm featured on a lot of songs. You feel me? But when it comes to me asking for features, like it has to like the bond just has to be there. Like I just know you always gotta bring it to the table. You feel me? That's why I rarely ask for features and whatnot. But if I do ask for a feature, like that artist is get fire. You feel me? Like I need you to work with me. You feel me?
facts? And then that's very humble of you, because I don't really hear too many artists speak like that. You know, you, like really want to work with other people. How did that Tyler Loyal collab come about?
So honestly, me and Tyler, I'm really cool with his manager. That's actually my friend's cousin and whatnot. Tyler just he hit me up like, yo, let's make a song with Tyler. I seen his shit, like he had like over like almost like 500,000 streams. I'm like, you wanna work with me, nigga? I ain't got no like, you feel me? Like my shit had like probably like what 10,000 plays. Like I was regular shit, it was just coming up. This nigga was already like in the 500,000 type shit. So I was just like, yeah, I'll do it. Then we linked up and we just probably made like 4 or 5 songs. Even the song Attention, we waited 2 years to drop that shit because we made it. It was like, alright, that's cool. But it was like me and Tyler were not really pressed. You know, a lot of artists be like pressed to drop a song like right there and then. Like we made it, it was like, alright, bet we're just gonna sit on it. And then like 2 years later, I was talking to a shorty. I was just like playing all my unreleased shit. She's like, why haven't you dropped this? I was like, I don't fucking know. And then I sent it to Tyler, yo, we should like re-record this and make it better. That's exactly what we did. And like now that shit has over 100,000 streams, like on Apple Music, SoundCloud, all that shit. You feel me? So
That's hard.
yeah.
So, what does Fill My Cup got for the future planned? Any albums, mixtapes, singles?
I just finished my debut album, you feel me? So I'm working on dropping that probably later on this month or early June. And I already finished my my following tape after that. So right now I'm just banging out songs. Like I'm just trying to flood the streets, bro. You feel me?
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of singles, like what's next? You got any like videos coming up?
I'm dropping one more video before my album. Then after that, I have a lot of videos in the default, no bullshit, that I'm still waiting to get back from the directors and whatnot. But I definitely got a lot of tunes coming. You feel me? I'm working on a big feature coming soon. I can't reveal the name yet, just because until I have the vocals, you feel me? I'm not gonna say nothing. But I got something crazy in the works.
Okay, cool. And you know, like just watching your videos, seeing like your energy. What does it take for you to get, you know, in that vibe to hit the studio to make a hit record? What do you need? Henny, women.
Honestly, I don't even like discriminate about alcohol. Like whatever I'm in the mood for, like I love Douce, I love Casamigos, I love fucking, you know, Patron, Don Julio. It don't matter. It's just the different vibes. And like it depends on the environment. Sometimes I have a couple shorties here, you feel me, or like I have my niggas here. It all depends on the environment, you know. And like I like to go like partying a lot, like clubbing, and I tell a lot of stories through that.
Yeah.
So it just makes it easier for me. I mean, that's why I do a lot of upbeat shit, because they're based on true stories. You feel me?
I was gonna ask you where your inspiration come from.
Yeah, just like interactions, literally. Like even me, like working at the barbershop sometimes, like I hear the craziest stories, and I put that in the song, and you won't even know it's about you. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I like to tell stories. You feel me? Even if it's not mine.
Yeah, that's. I feel like artists that do that can really make the listener identify with their music.
Exactly.
Go way further than someone who's just saying
a bunch of both. You feel me? Like.
Absolutely.
I definitely care about substance. You feel me? I want to give you a reason to listen to it again and again and again. You feel me? Catch something you didn't hear before. You feel me?
And also, like, you know, COVID's been a big thing for the past year. So how did that affect you? Because like I know you was out there doing shows and stuff, and you know.
So before COVID, like I was doing, honestly, I had like a big ass college tour. Like I went to Curry, I went to UMass Boston, Lowell, UMass Dartmouth. I was doing like all these shows and whatnot, but then COVID hit, so like there's no more college shows and whatnot. But then I really got in my bag. Like that's when I got to like learn how to like somewhat engineer better. You feel me? Just because I was stuck in the crib all day. So that's pretty much how I made my album too. Honestly, that's how I made both of the albums. Just like dissecting everything, just trying to make everything crispy. You feel me? It was honestly a blessing and a curse, but 2021 should be a definitely better year, you know, with the shows and whatnot.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, speaking of your album, like, is there any features on it? Are there any other producers on it other than yourself? Or
I have two other producers on it. Like I have two separate songs with two other producers, but most of it was just me producing it. So I have no features on it, just because like I've been making music for like 4 or 5 years, and like I think my fans deserve an album that's just like all me.
Yeah.
It's only like 10 songs, so it's not too much to take in. You feel me? I'm not gonna drop like fucking 25 songs with no features. Like, alright, that's corny.
Yeah.
But my second album definitely has features on it. That's you feel me? That's popping.
Absolutely. I feel like that, like this being your first album. I feel like that's the right way to go in, to just give them basically like
give them all of me,
your life. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Tell the stories, like just especially everything that's happened from like 2019 to like 2021. You feel me? So
yeah. And do you feel like COVID was a positive or a negative? Well, obviously it had a bunch of negatives in it. You know,
it was negative just for like the bag. You feel me? Obviously like shows and shit like that, but it was positive just because the real hustlers are gonna make, you feel me, they're gonna hustle, you're gonna grind just because nobody's working or whatever. But I still like made money off of like recording people and whatnot. I don't really do that no more just because I just don't have time to just do all that extra shit no more. But I be sending beats and whatnot. That's basically what I've been doing now, just like making a lot of beats, just pushing them out.
Really cool. So you know, you got shows coming up 2021. You got your album dropping. When's that dropping exactly?
I don't have the exact date, but it's gonna be in the next couple of weeks, like beginning of June. You feel me?
So where can the people find you on social media?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, everything. Fill My Cup. Feel me? Fill My Cup with a PH. You know.
Okay, cool. And you want to give any shout outs?
I want to give a shout out to my engineer Toso. You feel me? My manager, AJ, my team, CGF, and all my fans, everyone that supports me, you feel me? I love y'all, I appreciate all y'all. I couldn't do it without y'all. Yeah, shout out to my parents too, you know, they made me, they support me. So yeah, my family, they see it, you know.
Yo, Phil, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for taking this time.
Thank you for having me, bro.